I want to talk about California and the single-family zoning, what Newsom did to it, which is he survived the recall election, and now these two bills basically abolish single-family zoning in California, which is pretty amazing. I mean, I expect nothing but bad news to come out of California. As a transplant from there myself, who left, I mean, I wish people were leaving for the right reasons, for AB5 and all the other taxes and all the other awful anti-economic, anti-market things that they're passing. But I wish people would leave for the politics. But really, people are apolitical. They leave for the pocketbook. They might like the progressive ideas. They might not know any better, but they just realize they can't afford to live in California because of these very policies, but they wouldn't put the two together. Well, this could possibly stem the tide over time, not today or tomorrow, because of these units, these single-family homes will eventually be torn down and turned into fourplexes, and in some cases near bus stops or railways near maybe 10 or 11 units. But yeah, I mean, I must hand it to the progressives. In this case, they understood a little bit of economics, and there was real resistance from the NIMBYs. I was reading Facebook groups, and there was really strong opposition to YIMBYism, strong opposition to increasing density. But they're relentless, unlike conservatives, that they fold all the time. The progressives are just relentless, writing articles, just bombarding the media, like Ezra Klein at Vox, bombarding New York Times. I'm sure there's other prolific authors all the time saying this is the only thing that's wrong with our progressive cities. They're so expensive because of housing. We need to build more of it, over and over again. And finally, they applied they turned the dial to where the public understood it. They turned the screws on the politicians and gave way, and here we go. Single family zoning is abolished. Well, I want to congratulate them. That's great. I think it will transform California. Now, a lot of people say, oh, it's the real estate developers or property owners that would benefit and stuff like that, which, I mean, I own real estate in Los Angeles, and this is against my interest. But I do want to see LA succeed. I do want it to become a even better city, a better metropolitan city. So this is completely directly against my interest. My interest would be, as a property owner that owns several units, I'd want the rental crisis to get worse, things to get more expensive, because as houses get more expensive, that means the rent gets more expensive. They're in tandem. So that would be my in the short term financial interest. But I think in the long run, I do want LA to become awesome. I want this futuristic LA with flying cars and just big tall buildings, super dense. This crazy city with a lot of high tech companies that changes the world. So yeah, it's I think definitely abolishing the single family zoning is a step in the right direction. Too bad that these progressives, they just don't quite seem that, oh, wait a minute, the zoning government regulation was stopping a lot. We didn't need to build affordable housing because the government's really bad at building affordable housing. They spent $700K a unit to build that. Well, if the government's really inefficient at building that, well, maybe we'll just let the private market do it for free. So if we could just get out of the way, I mean, that type of logic, could they apply to other things? I mean, maybe the California could become more business friendly. Maybe cut taxes some, get rid of some regulations, so it's just more easier and friendlier to start to be a businessman in California. I mean, I don't know. That's probably expecting too much. And the thing is, a lot of the critics would be like, well, this is bad because this is bad for because if anybody makes any money, that means other people lose. But in reality, it's if it was only for just for one company that he gave this permission to, and everybody else couldn't do it, then yeah, this one company would keep buying all these single-family houses and turning them to fourplexes. But he gave permission to everybody to do it. Basically, anybody can do it. So any kind of profit from that is going to get competed away. I was in downtown Los Angeles when the whole revival came there, and at first businessmen got excited about all these new bars popping up, start recycling all these, repurposing all these downtown buildings to be lofts and condos. Well, they kind of did too much of that. There was a glut. Then their prices had to fall until they stabilized, and then people started doing it again. So I believe people get excited. They'll start doing it. After making some initial profit, and the more and more people will pile on and will compete away any profits. At the end of the day, LA and California in general just needs more housing, period. Another critique would be, oh, well, this will turn LA into like slums. But I mean, I've been to Beverly Hills apartment, a 4-unit apartment, which is beautiful on a beautiful street. That's totally fine. And in the East LA or Compton and Inglewood in the 90s, there was nothing but single families. And then they were super dangerous. You couldn't even walk down the street. So, I mean, density has put the potential of getting slummier, but these brand new units that are going to be built, they're going to be the nice one. They're going to be the nice units. It's going to be because obviously they're brand new. This is gonna basically all the tech or people who can afford such a brand new unit are gonna move in. So it's not like you're gonna have a bunch of scummy criminals moving next door. Overall, good thing. I wish they'd do more of it.